Today we're working on part 2 of this crochet blanket pattern. We're going to be finishing the motif, doing the final rounds. So let's get started. Hello, this is the second part of the Starfish flower blanket. Before, in the first video, we did this little pink flower motif. And now we're going to work the second purple part here and the third green part to make the completed motif before we join. So with this second part, which is round number 3, first of all, we're going to work on the back here. So grab the motif that you made before and turn it to the wrong side. So they're going to work this round on the wrong side. You'll see that between each petal you can find this stitch in the middle. So what we're going to do is we're only working on these stitches to make basically a chain around the back, so we can then turn it over and work into that chain. So then you get that nice effect of this kind of petal like underneath. All right, so it's fairly straightforward. What I have done already is I put my hook through the stitch in the middle here. I pulled the yarn through and I tied a knot just to make sure that's secure. So what I would like you to do now is put your hook through once you've tied that knot and bring through a loop. Whoops, let's try that again. Bring through a loop. Okie doke. And now you're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to go to the next similar stitch between the two petals, which you can find here. Put your hook through, pull a loop through, yarn over, and basically do a single crochet there. So that's all we're doing. Now we're just repeating chain 4 and skipping to our next in between the petal stitch and doing a single crochet to secure that. Now do this very kind of delicately, can be a little bit fiddly, and try to keep your crochet tight because it's fairly, this is the sort of the fragile part, I think, of this motif. So there we are again. So just repeating chain 4 and then skipping to that stitch in between. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're nearly at the end of the round, and you can see we've got this purple line around which no one will see because it's going to be about to be covered by crochet. Now I've come back to where I started. Going to put my hook in there. Not sure what that bit sticking out is there, and pull the yarn through. Do a single crochet, and here we are at the end of the round. We've got this nice circle that we're going to work into in the next round from the front. So I'm going to move that camera up a bit because I'm sorry, that's probably a little close. And now I'd like you to, at the end of this round, to get on to the next round, we're going to chain 2 and working into the petal directly above that chain, we're going to do a double crochet into the top stitch here of this petal. Double crochet. There we go. And you'll find that that will bring us to the top. So it should look like that. Then we're going to turn around to the right side to work our next round. Now, sometimes it's hard to remember. I actually forgot it before and I'm redoing this video. At the start of this round, you must chain 5. There's a lot of chain 5ing in this round. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if you go like that, you can look down to the back and you can see that we've got this chain and then the single crochet in the middle and then another chain. So what we're going to do is we're going to work 2 half double crochets and then keep the loops on the hook, and then skip that single crochet and work another 2 double crochet. It's actually half of a double crochet, not a half double crochet. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So you've done the chain 5, going to put your yarn over. You're going to dive into the right hand side of this loop here, pull a hook through, yarn over, and you're going to do half of that double crochet and then leave the other 2 stitches on the hook, and you're going to repeat that on the right hand side of that middle join bit there. So now you've got 3 on the hook. Now you're going to jump over that single crochet that's securing that there and repeat the same thing into the chain. So you're making this kind of an under petal, and you're making a kind of a cluster. So you're doing in total 4 half of a double crochets. So just the first step. So now you have 5 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all of those. So you have kind of made a cluster, and you can see that that's like an under petal, and it's got chain 5 on one side. So of course 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 5 on the other side. Repeat what we did first, which was a double crochet 1 into the pointy top stitch of the petal. And that is essentially all you're doing for the rest of this round. You're now going to repeat that again. So you're going to again chain 5, and then do your 2 halves of double crochets into your chain below on the right hand side, and then on the left hand side of that single crochet. So you end up with 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through them all to make your beautiful cluster. So you've got that lovely under petal, and then chain 5 and double crochet 1 into the top of the next petal. So just continue repeating the chain 5, 4 half double crochets pulled into a cluster, and chain 5 all the way around the circle. And then I will meet you at the end of this round and we'll talk about the next round. Okay, I am nearly at the end of this round. I'm just going to work the last one with you because I realize that it's a little hard when you do your first double crochet. Hold on to the back of the chain with your 3rd finger just to hold that in place so the chain that you just made doesn't sort of twist over, because it can twist over, but you need to hold it with the back of your finger if you can. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to look in the back of our motif now just to have a look, and we're doing our final chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go, looking good. And then we're just joining it back just to the first chain where you did that first double crochet with a slip stitch. And that is the end of our purple round. One good thing to do is to look at the back as well, and you can see what that looks like. I actually really like this round, but I am going to now cover it with our 3rd green round. So that is the end of that round. If you didn't get it, make sure you just watch it again and you will slowly be able to work it out, I'm sure. So let's move on to our next round. We are now going to fasten off that color, unless you're doing your motifs in all the same color, which you can do as well. Going to fasten that off at the slip stitch there, and let's move on to the next and final round for this Starfish flower blanket motif. Okay, final round, which is green here, but I'm actually going to work it in blue because I've run out of green. This was one I made earlier. You can see that this final round is mainly made of double crochets. It's actually a very quick and easy one, and we'll take that away and put back where we are at. Now you're just going to do, I don't know if you've ever done a standing double crochet, but it's a really good way to start a round. And you basically get your yarn, put your yarn over, and then you're just going to go into any top here, any of these double crochets at the top from the previous round, and you're going to work a double crochet into that and just finish that off. And I hold on to that yarn there with my fingers to give me some stability and some traction there. Now I hope this blue is enough of a contrast in the video. It's just what I happen to have. Then you're going to do chain 2. So first was the double crochet, standing double crochet 1 into the double crochet from the previous round, chain 2, and then another double crochet back into the same exact place that you just worked the other one. So you're making a little V stitch actually. So that is a V stitch or a triangle there. So double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into the same place. And again, as I said, this round is fairly straightforward. You just have to remember you do 2 double crochets into the next chain space. You've got quite a big chain space there. So you just work 2 into there. Then you're going to work 2 into the middle, the top of that cluster there. So in total, you're going to have 6 double crochets in between corners. So fairly straightforward. 2, 2, and another 2 into that next gap. So essentially, you're doing 2 on either side in the chain stitch gaps and 2 in the middle. And then for the corners, you're doing what we just did at the start, which is a double crochet into the top of that double crochet from the previous round, and your V stitch, which is chain 2, and then another double crochet. So there are 5 sides to this motif, or maybe I can't count. 1, 2, 3, sorry, there are 6. Okay, very silly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you've got all of these little corners, which are the V stitches, and then you've got the 6 double crochets in between. So literally just keep going around, working 2 into this space, very easy, and 2 into the middle, 2 into the next gap, and then your V stitch at the corners. So continue working around this way, working into your top double crochet like that, chain 2 until you reach the end, and as usual I will do a slip stitch. You can join another way, but I'll meet you at the end of the round after you've come around repeating the same thing. See you in a minute.